guys. So I am just on my way to work right now and just wanted to do a quick little hello, kind of a Sunday update. Yeah, so today is Sunday and I don't know, as usual, just not really quite sure how to feel other than anxious and just, kind of overwhelmed by stuff. But it is a beautiful day out. I mean, this is definitely my kind of weather. It's sunny and warm, but not like, too warm or too hot. And yeah, I just want to enjoy this weather while it's still like this. September is usually really nice around here. I mean, technically it's still August for today and tomorrow. I think, yeah, today is actually the last day of August. So, I'm gonna try to enjoy it as best I can. Yesterday was pretty nice. I had mentioned that, yeah, my brother and his girlfriend had come to visit, and I don't know, I think overall it went pretty well. It was a pretty quick visit. You know how time usually flies with that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was really a strange feeling, to see that my younger brother, he's 4 years younger than I am, and he has like some grays in his hair and stuff. I mean, he looked good, but I don't know, like, if anyone else out there is like an older sibling, but it's just a really strange feeling when you have a younger sibling, that's quite a few years younger than you, and you haven't seen them for a while, and then you see them and you're like, oh my gosh, they have gray hairs. Like, that's just a really strange feeling. But I've mentioned before, like, I myself am bald at this point, because I have some kind of health issues, I guess. I don't even know what they are because I don't go to a doctor, I don't have health insurance, yada yada. But when I did have hair, it was like a dirty blonde color, and that's pretty much the color of his hair. And I mean, there's some grays, but I feel like dirty blonde is almost like a shade of gray to begin with anyways. And yeah, we pretty much had dirty blonde colored hair like all our lives. But I noticed his hair is kind of the same color as like the rocks on the beach that we went to. And also the bark on the trees in the woods where we went kind of hiking through a little bit afterwards. So that was kind of cool. We got some cool pictures. I was able to convince him and his girlfriend to like climb into a tree. Just like not like super high up, but kind of onto a cool tree branch that we found, and we got some pretty cool pictures that way. And yeah, overall it was a pretty good day, but I'm just a very emotional person, so I called my mom afterwards, like after they left, after they dropped me off, and I was like sobbing, just like, but yeah, my mom and I talked for almost like 2 hours, and she kind of, talked me down from that emotional whirlwind that I was kind of going through at the time. And yeah, we were talking about my future and how I just worry about that, and we were just going through some things, and she actually did mention like, oh, what about starting a YouTube channel? And when she said that, I was just like, oh gosh. I mean, I told her that I already had done that, but I was like, I wonder if she's come across, like this channel. I mean, I kind of hope she hasn't, because I've definitely complained about her a lot on here before. I mean, I just complain about everything. I'm just a complainer. Like, I try not to be, but that's just like, how I am. Like, I try to be pretty good-natured about it, but it's just like a form of honesty for me. Like, I feel like it's harder to make progress in life, or try to, if you're not honest about how you feel about things. So, but yeah, I don't know, just like with my luck, I feel like the algorithm or whatever that is would probably just like recommend this channel to her, just to like kind of make things crazier in our world, as if they aren't already enough. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, if she did ever watch this, or just like in general, to kind of like, I don't know about set the record straight, so to speak, but I mean, I just love my mom so much. Like, I really do. And yeah, I mean, I complain about her, I complain about so many things, but again, that's just like a form of honesty for me, and just trying to keep it real, basically, as best I can, you know, like, yeah, just with the way I see things, that's just kind of how, the only way I feel like there's ever really a chance for progress to be made is if people are like honest about how they see things and how they feel about things. But I just love my family so much, and I just wish I could be, you know, like a better daughter, a better sister, just better for my family, you know. But I really struggle with stuff. And I felt really bad. I had my brother and his sister meet me at the gym, you know, partly because it's right off the exit, so I figured that would be like an easy spot for them to locate and just get to, because it's literally right after the exit, right after they get off the exit, rather than having to, like, you know, have Siri or GPS try to like navigate them through a bunch of other roads and stuff. Yeah, and it's like, you know, a pretty busy, popular area with a lot of stuff and just easy to find. But also, you know, like my apartment, I've mentioned before on here, is not the greatest, and I'm pretty embarrassed about it. I just don't feel comfortable there, and I've had things go missing from there. My landlord has been extremely rude to me in the past. He doesn't seem to like me very much, and I just don't feel super great about that place. I'm obviously very thankful to have it and have a roof over my head, and there are things about it that I really like, but you know, like, it's a studio. The entire thing is basically one big bedroom for me. It's not really the kind, I never have people over there, you know. It's not the kind of place to like entertain guests, so to speak. It's just not a good spot for that. Basically, as soon as you walk through the front door, you're like in my kitchen, which is very tiny, and just, it's just not a comfortable feeling for me. And also, because things have gone missing from there, and I just don't feel very safe there. I don't want to get into specifics about this, but, and the lock on the door is loose and like not very secure, so to try to like deter people from going in there when I'm not there, I put like kind of unsettling things in front of the door, which again, I don't want to get too specific about that, but I'll just let people use their imaginations for now. Because yeah, so I felt really bad about not being able to have them over, you know, to have like a proper visit that way. But other than that, overall, I feel like the day went pretty well. We had pretty decent weather. It was my first time, you know, going to the ocean. I didn't go at all last year or this year, and probably not the year before. I mean, all I really do is work, so yeah, we got to go to the ocean, and I dipped my feet in the water. The water actually wasn't too cold. It was, I could have, if I had, you know, a swimsuit on, which I didn't, but if I had thought, like, you know, to prepare to dress more properly, I probably could have just straight up swam and gone in the water completely. But, you know, it was nice to just say that I went in the water at all, like dipped my feet in there and got to see the ocean. I just love being by the ocean so much, especially on a beautiful day. It's just such a calming, peaceful feeling, and kind of like a vibe and a zone that you can get into, you know. Wish I could do that more often. So yeah, I tried to do a little recap video, quick little video like this last night after they left and after I talked to my mom and went to the gym and stuff, but I didn't like that one. I just deleted that one because I was just, well, yeah, obviously I was in a weird mood, and then I didn't like the way that I looked, which I don't like the way that I look now either. I'm wearing a different wig, as you guys can probably tell. This one stays on my head a little better. It's not as loose and it doesn't fall off as easily as the one that I usually wear. The one that I usually wear is like a mesh cap, so it's better for summer when it's really hot out because my scalp can breathe easier, whereas this one is just like a it's a less breathable cap. Like, it's thicker and it doesn't have the mesh on top, so it's more of a thicker fabric up there. But it is getting cooler out, and yeah, it's pretty warm now, but it will probably be a lot cooler tonight when I leave work. So yeah, and then after midnight, that'll be September, right? I'm pretty sure. So wow, I am dreading winter, as I always do, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, I just wish it could be this kind of weather year-round. That would be such a dream come true. That would be so, so amazing. You know, this is just perfect pretty much. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little video for right now. I definitely don't have a whole lot of storage left on my phone, and I was trying to load my YouTube back at my apartment before I came over here, and it wasn't loading, and it said that my internet bars, I had like barely one bar, so that kind of freaked me out. I wanted to reply to some comments that I had gotten on my video from yesterday. So now that I'm at work, I figure I'll wrap this video up and maybe I can try and see if my YouTube will load, and if I can get to those comments and try to reply to some of them. Maybe throughout my shift here today, I could try to maybe upload some other little short videos that I have pending on my phone from some years back. So maybe later I can go, if I'm able to upload those to here on my channel and my Google Drive, maybe I could try to delete some of those, you know, shorter ones later on, free up a little more storage space here on my phone so I can keep filming new ones. But oh yeah, I'm really anxious to go into work right now. I always am. I'm always anxious going into work, but it's funny, last night was movie night on the webcamming site that I have streamed on a few times before, and usually when I go on to there to even just to watch, usually when I go on that site, it's usually to watch other models. And yeah, like I like movie nights on there with one in particular model. She does movie nights on Saturday and Sunday night, which I usually work Sunday, you know, like today, so I don't usually get to do those ones. And lately I've been forgetting about the ones on Saturday, but I remembered just in time for last night. But it had been a while since I'd been on there, and usually when I go on there, my screen name is like saved at the top to like log in. Like, it remembers my screen name from the last time I logged in. And when I went on last night, it wasn't there anymore. It was like just a blank space. Or it said like guest or something. So that made me really anxious. I was like, oh no, like they must know about my YouTube and that I've like, you know, mentioned them on my YouTube before, like kind of not trash talking them or anything. I mean, I really like that website, just mostly for watching other models. I just have a hard time streaming on it myself. I mean, I still think it's a pretty cool website, you know what I mean? But I don't know, that made me really anxious. It was like, you know, it's like, you gotta always say and do the right thing just right all the time, or you're just screwed, right? Like, you can't ever really be honest. That's never a good way to go with things. but hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully I won't have to read too far into it. I guess that'll be like maybe a little bit of extra push and motivation for me to try to maybe log back in and stream again if I can, just to see if I can before it really gets cold out. You know, before I'm like 20 layers deep in clothing in my apartment again without the heat on. So, it's just, yeah, I have 2 sets of box springs under my mattress. For a while, I only had one. So my bed was at a certain level in height, which was, I felt like it was a little bit too low for me. But for streaming on that site, that was the main area that I was streaming from, like with that bed. And I could like sit and like kind of see the screen. It lined up pretty good. And I could also type pretty well that way, kind of using it as a desk. Because I had that mattress and then like a piece of furniture in front to hold my laptop and type for my notes and stuff, like working on my other laptop on my book, or trying to. But then recently, when I was trying to do some spring cleaning a couple months back, I wanted to try to free up some space. So I added the second layer of box springs underneath that mattress, which raised, the height of that area by a good, almost a foot probably, or just about. And it totally threw off. I mean, I knew it was going to, but I had originally felt like the level was a little bit too low, but now it's too high. So now when I try to sit there and type my notes and stuff and just like sit and type, it's off and my back hurts more. And so now I'm like, okay, should I try taking out the other box springs? Because the 2 sets of box springs are different sizes. So the one that I added recently was the bigger one. So I'm like, maybe I should just take out the smaller box spring and see if that gets it just about right. But that's obviously a lot easier said than done, or thought of than done. It's a king size bed, so I was amazed when I was able to get the other bigger ones underneath there by myself, because I'm usually pretty tired and it's hard for me to find the time and energy to do stuff like that or anything really. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if I can still log into that website if I did want to try to stream again before it really gets cold out. Just as a little experiment to see if it works. Because if you go long enough without streaming on there, you pretty much have to like re-verify yourself, like re-sign up, which is obviously a huge process. You need your ID and you have to take a million pictures and prove that it's you and yada, yada, yada. I really don't want to have to do that all over again if I can help it, if I can avoid that somehow. So I still don't know if you're allowed to mention stuff like that, like specific websites that you're on like that here on YouTube. So a part of me almost wants to try to get more people in my room if I were to stream on there again. But then a part of me is like, that's probably not allowed on here on YouTube. Like, I don't want to mistakenly like violate any rules, or I don't know. I still have so much more research to do with that kind of stuff. But it's definitely something I've thought about and been thinking about as, maybe like another little possibility to try out. I know there was something else I wanted to mention in this video. Honestly, I don't know if I'm even going to post this one. I always say that, but I was so scared posting the one from yesterday because at first that one was not loading. It took me like 3 or 4 tries to get it uploaded onto here, and to where like when I was trying to upload it like the 4th or 5th time, I was like, there's no way this is gonna work if it's not doing it all these times. But that time I just like, it was at the end of the night before I tried to get to sleep, and at that point I didn't go back and check it after. It still said that it was like 0 or 1% uploading, and it had like 45 hours remaining, it said. So at that point I just left it and didn't check it for the rest of the night. And I did actually get a little bit of sleep last night, lo and behold, because I think the day had just like really worn me out and, you know, tired me out quite a bit. So it was so amazing to get some sleep, you know, before coming into work, because usually I really don't sleep before coming into work or doing things. So I'm very thankful for that. Hopefully the shift today/tonight will go decently. I have no idea how late I'm going to be staying tonight, but it'll be interesting to see how things go. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to wrap this up for now at about 20 minutes, so I can try to load my YouTube and see if it'll load this time. Hopefully I get a better internet connection here than I was earlier at my place. And I think I'm gonna try to check back through some comments and maybe reply to some of those. Probably won't upload this one, or attempt to, until, you know, later on, until I'm back at my place, just, you know, as a precaution. But yeah, I think it's nice to kind of get into uploading more recent videos now that I've already uploaded most of the ones that had been pending from weeks before when I first started filming at the beginning of August. And then, yeah, some of the ones that have been pending on my phone for years now. So I like doing the current stuff. Definitely is, I think, fun to do and interesting for me. Hopefully someone else too out there. Hopefully some people find this crap interesting. Yeah, I'm sure it can be pretty boring on here sometimes, but honestly, in my world, after everything I've been through and the stuff that I continue to struggle with, sometimes boring can be nice. Honestly, for me anyway. You know. But yeah. Hopefully some people out there get what I mean and can feel me on that to some extent. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up for now and try to see if I can load my YouTube and get to some comments from yesterday's video, and then get into work here shortly. But hopefully I'll be able to get back to you guys sooner rather than later. Peace out for now.